or you didn't see my video yesterday, and this is Paige Burns.
Hi.
So Paige and I met like a week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, pre-virus. Anyway,
Pre-virus.
We were chatting and, launching this group. I thought it'd be really fun to do a bunch of live videos. And so I pinged her. I was like, hey, have you ever done live videos before? She said, yes, I have. And here we are today. She's my first guinea pig with this. So, but we have a laundry list of questions that I've come up with. I think especially the timeliness of this is pretty perfect in terms of what's going on in the world, but I won't belabor that point. We're going to keep it more positive and focused on creating really great video content. So everybody who's joined us, we're using a new platform that I've not used, but Paige has used. It's pretty cool. So this will be the first time. I believe you can comment on the video and we should be able to see it. We'll see what happens. But Paige, why don't, first I want to say welcome everybody. I do, for those of you who have not met me before, a rundown is I do marketing and marketing strategy. I just started my own agency about a couple months ago, which is why Paige and I met, because I was looking for some awesome video talent. Paige, you want to give a little introduction about you and some of your specialties, and then we'll dive into the meat?
Yeah, absolutely. So hi, everyone. I'm Paige, the owner and founder of Main Page Media. We've been in business. We're coming up on our first birthday, so just 1 year. But I've been doing video for like 10 plus years. I just went off on my own last April 2019. What I mostly focus on is creating strategic video assets for business owners. So really kind of working with business owners to figure out what their video strategy is, if they would benefit from video, and if so, how, what ways we can actually use video. There's nothing that bothers me more than creating video for the sake of video. So I really like to work closely with my clients when they're like, I don't know, video would be cool. I've heard video is a good marketing tactic. So like, let's make a video. Like, all right, well, what's the point of this video? So that's really what I focus my business on. I do work with a lot of women-owned businesses and small businesses. And then, of course, we come up with strategy, we shoot, edit, do all the technical stuff. And then I also walk my clients through how to best implement it. So what are best practices on social media for sharing a video? I'm no social media manager and not a social media strategist. Like, there are professionals out there for that, but I do know best practices for video. Maybe where you should be putting it on your website, how you can use it in emails, because you never want to have a video produced for you and you spend all this money on it and then you just throw it up on the internet once. So that's kind of really where my specialty lies. I always like to say, like, my superpower is like drawing your story out and getting you comfortable on camera and really finding what makes you you and figuring out how that'll connect to your clients.
Let's start there. And so one of the things in this group and some of the experts that we're going to have, like Paige, as we chat, is, talking about actionable things that you can do. You folks as small businesses or larger businesses or people who are just trying to learn. One of the biggest frustrations for me as a marketing expert, or, if I hire a consultant or hire somebody and they say, okay, here's the strategy, go ahead. I'm like, what do you mean go ahead? Like, give me the, how do I do this? Like, where do I put it? And answer some of those, like, really, not hand holding, but sometimes I'm an expert in my field. I'm not an expert in your field. So show me how to make this work for me. So a lot of the questions in the conversation Paige and I are going to chat about for you guys is around exactly that. Like, how do you actually do this? So tips and tricks. But I want to start with something that you said at the end around, the fear of being on camera. I absolutely hate being on camera. It's not my favorite thing. I have about an inch of makeup on. I've actually ordered a light. So when we do more of these, I won't look like one gray shadow in the future. But talk to me a little bit, for those of you out there, Paige, talk to me a little bit about how you help people business owners get over that fear of being on camera. What are some actual techniques that you've shared with people? Is it picturing people in their underwear? Is it staring at the forehead? What are those tips?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I come across this so often, and I mean, I hate being on camera. Like, I put people in front of the camera day in and day out
right now.
But like, it's uncomfortable. And I think it's it's like a rare breed of person who is comfortable being in front of a video camera. I think there's some people that it comes to naturally, but most people it comes with practice. And I mean, I have content that I put out there with myself on video, and if you'd watch it, I mean, I've been told that I don't look uncomfortable, but I definitely felt uncomfortable when shooting it. Some tips that I've given people before, I met this woman once who had it's just a little story. She had the most electrifying personality. Like, this woman needed to be on camera. And she was like, people keep telling me that. I don't know. I can't invest in it right now. And I'm nervous. And I was like, just make one. I was like, make one and send it to me, and I'll let you know how you could make it better. And she did it. And then she put it out there in the world, and she got great feedback. I regularly see her now putting out DIY video content. Like, she just needed that push and that like go ahead from people in her sector to realize that it was going to work for her. So the tool that I introduced her to was called Soapbox. I don't know if you've heard of it, Jessie. It's a Wistia plugin. It's free for Chrome. Mm-hmm. And it actually, it's so that you can kind of create custom video messages that you can send to people over email, and that you can also screen share while you're doing it. So this wasn't for her social. It was just for her to like send messages to her prospects over email. But what's fun about it is if you're scared of the camera, once you hit record, you can't see yourself. So it'll show you what it looks like beforehand, but then you hit record, then you just talk.
That would be awesome, because all you do, I don't know, like I've been FaceTiming my parents and my friends recently. All you do is stare at your own face on that, the camera. Even now I'm like, okay, look at the little dot on my laptop, so it looks like I'm looking at y'all, and I'm taking notes. For those of you who have met me, I take copious notes. I have to write everything down, but I want to make sure that, some of these nuggets that Paige is sharing, that I can share out to our people listening and watching. Soapbox, you said it's a Wistia plugin. For those of you who don't know, Wistia is actually Boston. They're based in Cambridge. It's a video hosting provider is a good way that I'll describe them. So if you don't want to publish your videos on YouTube, but you want to use them across your websites, Wistia is a really interesting option. I've been a client of theirs for years. There's a lot of creative things that you can do with them. So I'd recommend you guys check them out too. So just for layman's terms there. Okay, so those are some good tips. Let's dive in a little bit more to social media and video. I'm going to start and talking about lighting. Obviously you look great, whichever way you're in the video, it's this way, which is opposite than where I'm sitting. But again, I've ordered a light, it's coming. What are like 3 things that people should consider when they're setting up like a video chat like this? Again, I'm backlit, which is also terrible. I've got stuff coming. It's coming, so this will look better. But aside from being backlit and considering, talk to us about lighting a little bit.
Yeah, I think that, Jessie, if you weren't on a desktop, which I imagine you are, like if you took your laptop and just turned around, like it would make a world of difference, because the window, like that natural light would light you. And I feel like people so often want to sit in front of a window because they're like, oh, the natural light, or I'll see the outside. But we can see like if we're looking at Jessie right now, we can't see the outside because it's blown out, because the camera in your computer is trying to compensate, or the camera in your phone is trying to compensate for all of that light coming in. So yeah, that's just being backlit. It's not the best.
I'm going to try it right now. Let's see if it'll happen. Are you ready? I'm going to spin. Oh, look at that. It does look so much better.
Like a world of difference.
Yeah. Too bad there's no desk right here. So I can sit here and hold it and make you all seasick. So, but all right, just that was good. Good tip.
And yeah, I like those ring lights are great. I'm sure that's what you ordered. The selfie lights. But right now, like I am lit, but I did this. I'm just using this lamp.
Oh, sneaky.
From Target. It's a lamp that I have in my bedroom near my mirror where I do my makeup in the morning. And I just have it over here, and I have it kind of off to the side because I have a window. I can't over on this side of my face. Everything's mirrored.
I know. Exactly.
So like if I turn this off, like you can see like half my face is lit from the window. So I just put the light on the other side of my face. It's super simple. I just took a lamp out of my bedroom and brought it downstairs so that we could talk today. So, there's really easy things that you can do at home to create your own lighting. It's just kind of looking at yourself and making sure that it's even and being aware of your shadows.
Yeah. Talk to us about shadows. You know, what are like 3 things that you should be looking at with shadows?
I mean, one is like being backlit. That literally creates a giant shadow. Two is like I just demonstrated, like there's a window next to me. So this is creating a shadow on this side of my face. I mean, we just shouldn't be doing it. And then three would just be like, if I have this light, like I'm evenly lit now, but if I put it head on and I get some really deep dark
Shiny
shadows, or
forehead, the
if
under
it's too
eye.
far down, like
Yeah.
I can't move it that well because my computer's in the way right now.
Yeah.
Um,
But things to
but
look at when you're setting up your setting to shoot some of the videos, you know?
yeah, like a lot of times it'll give you this dark, like I just, because I moved to light, I now have this like really dark under chin shadow, which like we maybe
Oh,
not don't want.
your
Um,
jawline looks great though.
Thank you. um, and then like I'm just in front of like a pretty blank wall right now, but there could be so easily really intense shadows. Like we can see my hand right now. Like this isn't perfect lighting. This is good for live stream lighting. Like it doesn't matter too much. But yeah, making sure that you're not looking like you're doing the campfire scary stories is definitely like my number one tip.
Good one. So let's talk about, I feel like that's my catchphrase. Let's talk about this next item on the list. You know, let's talk about talking. So, you know, we've all, I'm sure a lot of us remember when we were kids and we're learning to do speeches and talk slowly and make it sound awkward, you know, all of that. I think, you know, enunciate. Is there different things we should be aware of when doing video now that I'm talking super slowly at the moment?
There definitely are, and it totally depends on what kind of content you're creating. You know, if you say you hired a videographer and you're working with them and they're filming with you, just talk conversationally. However you would talk in real life, I think is actually the most beneficial. If you are doing a selfie video, same thing. Like if it's just DIY content, keep it conversational. However, there are different platforms where it really depends on how you are speaking and how you're engaging with your audience. Like we're live right now. So not only are we talking to each other, but we also need to be aware that we're talking to the people who are watching, and just kind of keeping that front of mind. When I did my first live, I think I focused too much on that. And I kept saying, like, I did it with this girl, Isabel, and I kept saying, Isabel does this, Isabel does that. And I was like, I could easily just say, you do this and you do that. And I almost like lost sense of my audience a little bit. So just keeping that in mind really matters. And then on top of that, there is, if anyone wants to go follow Shay Rowbottom, she is like queen of video on LinkedIn.
Oh, how do you spell that?
Shay is her first name, Rowbottom, I think spelled like you think it is, Rowbottom. I listened to a podcast with her. I follow her on LinkedIn, but I also listened to a podcast where she was interviewed by this other guy, Todd Hartley, Video Marketing Mastery, great podcast. No, not sponsored for Soapbox, Todd Hartley or Shay.
Well, again, that's the purpose of the group, is to be able to find some of these useful tips and tricks. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I found you, or you over here. So
She talked on this podcast about how on LinkedIn, it actually is really important, and on social media in general, if you're editing your content, for it to be really fast. Because the second that you kind of like take a breath, like if you ever noticed like YouTubers or, you know, people that have viral content, it's literally like it's so, everything they're saying is so fast. And she was explaining that the psychology behind that is that the second that you have a breath, a moment, that's when people will tune out. Like they'll be like, okay, I can stop listening now. You have to almost give them no chance. And again, in like a fuller produced nice piece that you're using on your website and as like, you know, a promotional piece, we want some pacing in there. But on this quick social content, you're giving tips, you're giving advice, you're spreading a message, whatever it is. It's literally like, keep it fast. And you don't have to speak fast, but it does need to be edited quickly.
That's interesting. I've noticed, like, I watch a lot of TikTok videos because I am a sad addict to TikTok. I have not produced very many, but I have played with it. But it's exhausting sometimes. You know, the attention span that we have is so short with keeping up with some of this stuff. Let's talk a little bit about, and I'm watching the time because I want to keep us within like 20 minutes or less, because I'm sure we're going to have people who have tuned out at some point, which is okay. But let's talk about like what you should be wearing. You know, I notice you're in black and white. I have a darker color, no pattern on. Other, just off the top of your head, things to consider?
Yeah, I mean, the best thing to avoid is anything with like a tight pattern, like gingham, pinstripes, who sound like, I don't know if that's how you say that pattern. So anything because it will do that weird, I'm sure you've all
The
seen before.
vibrated thing.
Yeah, it looks like it's moving. So that's like the number one thing to avoid. All white is a good thing to avoid. All black is a good thing to avoid. You just tend to kind of like melt away. Like earlier, I was wearing an all black turtleneck, and then I like turned on the webcam to see how I looked, and I was like, nope, okay, there's a reason. It's the reason I tell people not to do this. You just kind of get a little lost. So I always advise people dual tones. Dual tones usually come across real well on camera. Greens tend to reflect off your skin. Same with like bright reds, bright oranges, and it'll just kind of make you look a little not ideal.
A little sickly sometimes,
Sickly.
little roasted. Makeup, again, we were joking before we all went live. I have a full face of makeup on. I have not done a full face of makeup in about a month. It was really exciting and fun. So congratulations. But if you're gonna slap some on your face right before you go live, are there, lips, eyelashes, are there other things? I mean, little blush, even for the men, things to consider. Are you have any hot tips there?
If you're thinking about going live, I mean, I would probably just be as natural as you can be. If you feel like you're shiny, powder is good. That's the number one thing, especially if you're putting a light, right directly on you and you feel like you're shiny. That's the thing that I would be the most concerned about. The good thing about live and the appeal about live is that it is raw and authentic and real. So we don't have to see, I mean, I always put makeup on before I go live because that's how I am confident looking. And I'm sure it's the same with you. Like you put makeup on before you went live because you look good, you feel good. But I wouldn't say you have to go over the top and put fake eyelashes on or really, you want to be the way that people are going to see you when they meet you.
Length of video, and I know, again, I was overt earlier about watching the clock and making sure within the 20-minute mark, give or take, ideally the rumor that I've heard working in marketing for so long is you do for intro videos and longer videos, they're 2.5 minutes max. When we're doing live or shorter ones, do you have some best practices you could share for folks just to kind of be cognizant of attention spans and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, the rule of thumb is 2-ish minutes, but that's changing constantly. And statistics on that is changing constantly. I mean, Netflix has proven to us all that people will sit and watch stuff forever. Granted, that's entertainment, but it's like if it's engaging enough content, people will sit and watch stuff forever. A good rule of thumb is to have your most engaging piece in the first 7 seconds.
Okay, that's a great tip.
Just if you have something, if you've ever watched, even like I watch a lot of comedians, and it'll actually have like the punchline to a joke at the beginning. Then it'll kind of like roll credits, so to say. They'll put in a little intro and then they'll start their whole set, and you're actually waiting until you get to that joke. And you're like, oh, that was about. But it's like you hear someone say something so obscene that you just want to know what it was about, and then you'll watch the rest of the video. That's a very common practice.
In context for some of the folks watching, again, you see it a lot in commercials. You can hear it a lot in like radio commercials and stuff like that, or radio DJs do it. And I know the news does it a lot when they're saying, oh, we're going to be talking about this story later. How does that work in terms of business promotion? How have you seen it done successfully? Like if, let's say you're selling soap, just for example, since soapbox is top of mind for me, you have a soap company, you make artisanal soaps that you mail out to anywhere in the United States. If you're building an intro video, it would say, oh, we're launching new colors, we're launching new scents for the fall, or how would you?
I would totally shy away from we're announcing new scents for the fall, because that means people are going to look at this and the first thing they're going to think is, oh, it's an ad, oh, me, oh, they're selling to me. And people don't want to be sold to, but they want to buy. So it's really just a matter of making content that doesn't feel like you're being sold to. So maybe it's with a grabbing statistic that you're opening up on. Like I did a video for a realtor, and we opened the video with her saying statistics have shown that you actually save more money buying or selling a home if you hire a realtor than if you don't. And that kind of, it creates that intrigue, because some people are like, wait, really? Because I have to give you a commission, like how? And then you are interested in learning more about it. And just kind of having that piece of information at the beginning to really grab your interest. It can also be something that's like kind of funny or humanizing. I'm sure you've seen a lot of content out there where it opens on a blooper, and it's just something kind of goofy.
True.
It's just something that can catch you right away in those first few seconds so that you don't scroll by. And oftentimes that comes in editing. You're finding that gold, you're finding that hook later on of something that happened totally naturally.
So how does that apply to social media type videos? So again, I was pretty overt. Hey, I am, actionable marketing. I'm talking to Paige today. She's going to be tips on how to create better video. How do you take that strategy and apply it to this type of video? Like what could we have done differently to kind of promote this? I know we kind of pulled it together last minute, but and it's the first time we're doing it, but critique it. What do you think we could have done better?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think people love to see, like I've said before, but they love to see you be humanized, right? So you hopped on live and talked about how we were going to be doing this. What if you hopped on live with your dog? You know what I
Who
mean?
is lying right here, for those who do not know me. She is sleeping in her bed right here.
Like, just if people, they see that you've gone live, they click on it and the first thing they see is a dog, they might stay tuned, as opposed to like, hey, it's Jessie. Like, okay, sure, I know.
Or cat people may not like the dog, so you never know.
Crazy. But yeah, I mean, I think just having something that is eye-catching and engaging right away, or just opening it up, and even if you're live, asking people how they're doing, and asking them to write something in the comments. I mean, it's as simple as that to just capture that engagement. Maybe you ask a question of the day, just to get people in, and then you can go on with your pitch.
All right. Well, next time, hopefully, again, first time using this platform. I have no idea if anybody's watching. I'm hoping they are. And if not, there'll be a recording for later viewing. We're at the 20-minute mark, 21 minutes. Any last minute thoughts you want to share? And then I'm going to highlight your little promo or let you do your little promo of what you're offering because,
Thank you.
why not? It is a marketing group.
Thank you. I think my last bit of advice would just be, I think a lot of people think that video isn't for them. That it's just like, I'm uncomfortable on camera, or it doesn't work for my business, or there's too many of my competitors are already doing it, which is a totally ridiculous excuse. But there's so many reasons why people are not doing it and not kind of taking that jump. And I just advise, like, start with some DIY content, put your face out there. People love authenticity. That is like what sells right now in this digital age that we're in.
Yeah.
If you've been trolling TikTok, like, you see teenagers that are doing embarrassing things all the time.
And they are getting people to buy, they're getting sponsors. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And it's like, I think when we were teenagers, it was like you never wanted to be seen doing something
No,
real, and now it's all about what's real and it's all about what's authentic. So just like put it out there. That's what the audience needs to see. And there's so many ways that you can implement video into your business. I mean, it doesn't just have to be marketing content. It doesn't just have to be social media content. Like, you can automate things that you're already doing. You can automate a training, or, you can automate a sales pitch to someone that it's like, once you've connected with them, say, hey, I'm going to send you this quick video, which actually tells you a little bit more about the product. And if you are more interested, then let's set up a follow-up call, just so that you don't have to keep saying the same thing over and over and over again.
That's interesting. I love the idea, not to grab that one for a quick nugget. And again, we're way over the 20 minutes, so I give up. The idea of doing the sales pitch and pre-recording your video there and sending that out to people, but do it in the same like setting and the same, like, the authenticity, easy for me to say, behind that is so much more compelling. I know that I posted, I wouldn't say late last year, actually, I was on LinkedIn and I was getting, a former VP of marketing in corporate high tech environments. And I got more emails and phone calls and I also had a 00 phone number. So the last 2 digits of my phone number were 00. So I just had gotten fed up one day and I posted on LinkedIn. I said, if you want to contact me and you want me to listen to your sales pitch, there needs to be a dog reference. Like, I don't care. And so it was funny. After that, it was easy. You could tell the people who had done their research and would send me little videos. It's so easy to produce them now and say, look, I know you love dogs. Here's a dog meme, or check me out, or things like that. So being able to be authentic and pay attention and communicate in that way, the videos always get me. I'm sure you guys have seen the ones where you have like a whiteboard and you're like doing the video and they're like, hi, I'm so-and-so. Oh, that was the other question I was going to ask you. Captioning, closed captioning, or some sort of captioning, since a lot of the social media, you're doing multiple things at once. Like, I am addicted to watching cooking television shows. I watch the tasty videos all the time. I'm like a wicked sucker, but I'll be watching TV for real at the same time. but I can read what the ingredients are and read what's going on. Do you have a tip or trick for people who might be wanting to easily close caption stuff on their videos? Is there like a service you're aware of?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, Facebook makes it really easy to put captions on your videos. And I highly recommend anyone that puts a video out there do that, because you get it's something like 85% more views. Like, it's a ridiculous number, if you have captions on, because everybody's watching, on the train, in a couple months when we can go on the train again.
Walking outdoors, sitting outdoors, whatever.
Or there's people around and they don't want to play the audio. Like, right now
we're
all working from home. Like, I've got a full house. Like, maybe if I don't have my headphones on, I'm gonna mute it so I'm not disturbing people. So yeah, Facebook, if you do the auto generate, it's pretty smart. You can do the auto generate and then you can go in and edit it. Really easy. Another service that I like is rev.com. It's rev.com. They put captions out so friggin' fast. It's $1 a minute. So I shared a video on my page last night, and it's like 3.5 minutes long, which I know is long, but it's because of the content that's in it. I could go on and on about that topic, but it's 3.5 minutes long. I sent it in for captioning today because I wanted to share it on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn doesn't have a captioning option. You have to actually upload a file, and I sent it into Rev, and within an hour,
that's
I had the caption file.
Killer.
$5.
That's awesome and cheap. Again, we're all looking for ways to it's worth the money in some of these cases. I know there are free services out there that do this sort of thing, but the quality of it may not be as great as some other paid services. So it's good. Well, good. Do you want to give your quick little, Paige has got a cool offer that she wanted. I asked her before, I said, obviously you're getting some credibility out of this. If people want to chat with you, do you want to share what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so for right now, I know that we're all kind of stuck at home, and I can't necessarily come out and film anything right now because I'm practicing social distancing, as I'm sure.
Social distances by
like social terribleness, like I'm sure you all are. And so, there's I can't come out and film anything right now. Of course, if you are interested in working with me for video, we can definitely talk about it now, shoot it later. But something I am doing for people, because everyone does need to go online right now with their services and stay connected to their audiences. You don't want people to forget about you. You want your clients and your community to know that you love them. So a lot of people are using video. Like, if you've been on Instagram today, everyone's gone live. It's awesome. But if you are totally intimidated by that, or if you're totally intimidated by going live on Facebook, or just creating any of your own video content, or not knowing how to create your own video content at home, like you're not at your place of work, so you don't have the stuff that you normally have, I have a link to my calendar, which I can write in the comments after we hop off here, where I'm letting anyone take 30 minutes of my time. We can have a 30-minute call. We can talk about what you can do with video. I can walk you through, best practices on how to make it look good, or, what kind of things that we can possibly accomplish while you're just kind of at home, and give you any tips and tricks. No question is too small, because I know for some people, this is just a totally new ground. They're like, I don't even know where the Facebook Live button is. And I get that. If you've never gone live, why would you know?
That was us last week.
Why would you know if you've never done it? So I am opening up my calendar so you can take 30 minutes of my time, totally free. I won't try to sell you or pitch you on anything while we're there. In the meantime, if there are people out there who do want to work with me, stuff that we can do kind of right now is I'm available for editing. I'm available for animation. I do logo animation. So anything we can kind of do with pre-existing assets, I'm here for. So please feel free to reach out. And then if you do want to work with me on a bigger scale, you can head on over to mainpagemedia.com/discovery, fill out the form, and we can chat and make a plan.
Sounds good. Well, thank you for
Thank you so much.
It's my first live video. So,
thank you. This is fun.
I know. So, thanks, lady. And I hope we don't have any comments. I don't see them in the Be Live. So, we're using a technology, just for your reference, while we're talking about video. Everybody listening is Be Live. It's B.live. There's no com or anything like that. So it's pretty. Actually, it was pretty simple once I stopped panicking and sat down and was like, how do I work this? So, but I hope everybody's staying safe. Wash your hands, and I'll catch you in the group.
Bye.
Bye.